Hello, Education 2220 students. I hope everyone had a great week last week. I cannot believe it. It is time for us to be taking our midterm exam. We're also going to be on spring break, but if you look here, um, I did want to note that I did leave it open for quite a while because some of us might be traveling for spring break, and I wanted to make sure that you had a good window of time to take it. Now, it still is going to be timed and you only have one attempt. So it is a little bit different than our quizzes when you don't have multiple times, but it is still a time test. So what I want you to do to get to this is if you go down past module 5, you're going to see a section that says midterm exam, and that's where I'm at now. I gave you plenty of study tools to help you. Remember, this the midterm exam is going to be over modules 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 1 through 5 modules. There is the study guide. So if you click on that, it's going to come up as a Word document. Now, this is really great because in here, I went ahead and told you what chapters it's all in. So this is coming from our Teaching Exceptional Children textbook. Um, so make sure that you look at that, and the chapters that are associated with each section is going to be in there as well. So just make sure that you go through and know that these are the concepts that you will be tested on. Also, it's kind of like a test bank. So all of the questions that you saw when you were taking your quizzes for module 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those those questions, you're going to see them again because it's coming from that same bank, if you will. So there really isn't any surprises. You've seen this material before, so that will be helpful. I also gave you a Satori. So the Satori is kind of neat because it kind of goes with a timeline. So when you click on it, it's going to open in a new window. But you'll see here, this is going to help you cover those topics, those main ideas, examples. It's going to give you visual suggestions. Again, all this is coming from the textbook. Okay, so there's some graphics in here as well. So if you'll look, the first is talking about inclusion, IDEA. Um, we talk about landmark court cases in special ed, civil rights law in Section 504, ADA, Universal Design for Learning, CAST and the UDL framework, RTI, response to intervention, individualized education program, IEPs, measurable annual goals, adaptive behavior, emotional behavior disorders. We have autism spectrum disorder, ADHD. Then, of course, we got the low incidence and high incidence. Then we have sensory and physical disabilities. Then we move into collaboration in special ed, the 7 core principles of collaboration, co-teaching models and teams, and all of that is in there. Another thing that's also helpful too um, is if you click back in the section where you have all your study tools, you're also going to have a Quizlet. This is really neat because Quizlets are a great way to study and prepare you. Again, it opens in a new window. Quizlets are good because you have flashcards. Um, you also can have quizzes as well in there. So you can do practice questions. And again, all this is covering the topics from modules 1 through 5. So you'll see here it starts on March the 6th and it closes March the 19th. Again, I want to preface you only have one attempt. It is a timed test. So do not begin the exam until you feel you're prepared. Another thing that I wanted to draw your attention to that's coming up is if you look here, after Module 6 is going to be our interview, journal, article, or our article review or our work-based learning. So this is what we call the choice-based project. This is where you got to choose one of these below. Now, many people have already reached out to me and let me know which choice or what their choice is. So, for instance, I had several people who wanted to do the interview where you interviewed a parent who has a child with special needs. I had a few people, not many, but there's been a few that wanted to do the peer-reviewed journal article. So you will pick an an article from Teaching Exceptional Children Journal. And remember, all of these articles that are coming from this journal are peer reviewed. And you There is a separate video in here for you on that. These are just the links. I'll show you in just a minute where to go, which is underneath our course projects. And then lastly, the work-based learning. I only had one student who is completing this. Um, and that's if you decided to work with East or West High School, and that was the work-based learning. Most people are doing the interview. A few people will be doing the journal article review. But what I wanted to draw your attention to is the due dates on here. So remember, these are just the links to get you to the Dropbox. You'll see here that they are due on March 19th. So please make sure that you get that done by then. Some people have already started working on it. It's up to you of when you want to work on it. But if you do have questions, please feel free to reach out. In the past, I've let people let me look at their review article, um, especially if they're kind of struggling with it, and then I will also be able to help you with that. The interview is pretty straightforward. Please make sure you look at the rubrics for each assignment because they're all different, and then that'll give you good indication of how I'm going to grade you and what the criteria is for each assignment. But how you get to those is if you click on course projects and service learning, you're going to see a section underneath co-teaching that says parent interview, journal article review, and work-based learning. This has the three choices, um, and each choice will give you the assignment instructions, what you are to do, and how you're going to be graded. So just make sure you check that out. All right, that's pretty much all that we are doing. So you are responsible to get your midterm exam in by the time that it is due. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I hope everyone has a great spring break and good luck on the midterm exam. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.